Also got an audio stream, Docomo Channel 10J, and Facebook Live, as always, with the KUAM News Facebook page. Dr. Hoa Nguyen, the Physicians Advisory Group chairman, now joins us in the KUAM News Zoom room. Doc, 7 o'clock is early for you now, huh?
No, good morning. I just had to run a little bit earlier.
Good morning. Doc, so, wow, I was kind of talking yesterday, like we're out of vaccines, right? Is that a big deal or what?
We have vaccines. It's not a big deal because I think that a lot of places in the state are also out of vaccine. When we are expecting the shipment to come in this Friday. So, hopefully it will be rolled out, give to the clinic to start, give the number 2 out on Saturday. So, and then on the guard, at UOG from Monday to Saturday next week. So, we're going to play some catch up, make sure that, I'm not sure what the right number is, so I say 6,000, and yes, I heard something like 8,000. So there's a lot of people behind, but they're gonna run every day of next week to try to give out all number 2. So we about a week late, but again, the period's about up to 2 to 3 weeks, so everyone be okay.
And they're not doing any. I saw the release that they're not doing any first shots until what, like March 16th.
Yeah, we had to complete all the second series, and that's we want to ask people to hold off to the first shot. Request until all the second one have been completed. So we have planned like 35 vaccine coming in. We have enough for everyone for number 2 and start number 1.
Doc, so I remember when the vaccines first came out, there was they said you had to get it like 21 days after the first shot. What is the window for those receiving the second shot? What is like the absolute latest that they can receive the second shot after the first? Like how many days is the max?
The preferably 2 weeks after, but we can stretch up to 4 to 6 weeks. But preferably 2 weeks after your due date.
So if those people who are scheduled to get their second shot like this week, you would say preferably 2 weeks after is ideal, but you could go 4 to 6, right?
Yes, you can do that. That's why when next week, every day, next week except Sunday, will be open. I think they should have more than just UOG to try to catch up, and so it's easy for us to vaccinate 6,000 people in a week just because we can do about more than 1,000 a day. So it's not hard for us to catch up.
When you say, Doc, when you say preferably within 2 weeks after your second shot due date, what happens after that 2 weeks? Because you threw in that word there, preferably. Is it less effective?
No, it's not less effective. I don't think everyone know for sure 100% of what happened or what percentage efficacy you have. But like I say, everything else, you can extend up to 4 to 6 weeks. But if you can, the best you can is just get it within the next 2 weeks after your date there. But like I say, there's really people should not be concerned to be late up to the 4 to 6 week mark. But like I said, we will complete everything by the end of next week or early on probably the second or third week of March. It should be complete already. But to go forward, we have to kind of plan carefully for the second dose to make sure that we don't repeat this. So
right.
Hopefully,
so what happened, Doc? I mean, when you say don't repeat this, we kind of this situation we're in, and that's what I was talking about yesterday. Is I had a comment here. Most people would have more trust if they heard this first from the governor and the committee rather than good news people. So that's what I'm saying. It kind of seems like we just woke up one day and there was no vaccines on island, and
Yeah. So the thought like this, right? I mean, number one is up to supply. I mean, if the federal government give a certain amount of vaccine only for the month, and if we give out so fast, we will exhaust that. So that's really that's the key. Is just the number of vaccine given the government. I know we request 40, 50,000 doses a month from the federal government, but if they give us only 20 or 30,000, then we kind of stuck with that. We can't request anymore.
Right.
We cannot buy anymore. So if we give out the vaccine so fast every day, then you will exhaust the number of vaccine allowed to us for that month. So that's number one. Number two is that there's a kind of a thought that hey, for us to build kind of herd immunity, um, you have two options. One of the option number one is that to give out most people the number one shot, okay, the first one, because after the first one, you can get anywhere from 50 to 80% efficacy the first shot. So if you want to cover the island really quick, you just have to give most people the first shot, and then if we have more, then we complete the second one. The second shot will get you up to 95% efficacy. But at the same time, if you want to build herd immunity really quick, then you take a risk to give everyone the shot number one, and then be late to number two. That's the option of number one. But option number two is that we give less people the first shot and save the second shot, to complete for people to complete the two dose series. But again, you go to option number two, then you have less people that have immunized on the island. So it's either one. You can look at it. We just have to make up our mind to go option number one or option number two. And I think that to go forward, we just have to make sure that we just follow one option and not just wax and wane the two.
Yeah, I mean, outside looking in, Doc, and I'm pretty sure there's just all kinds of other different circumstances, but it seems like it would be easy to say, okay, we're getting 6,000 vaccines, 3,000 get their first shot. We're going to put the other 3,000, in the cooler until you get your second shot so that we don't end up in this situation, like you said, where how many people do you know are supposed to be getting their second shot in this window that we're in now? Because we hear different
Right
things.
now, the number out there about 6,000, 8,000. So it's quite a bit of people out there that need the second shot. So I think the QR code, the website have been released, I think, for the people who start signing up for next week. So just log in and get into the website there to book your time for next week.
What about this Johnson and Johnson? Like, Doc, I mean, from the doctor's point of view, right? Which vaccine can you rank them from like best to Western family?
Yeah, the Pfizer and Moderna is the same. They are mRNA vaccine. The Johnson is different. Johnson is, I think, up to 75% efficacy, so it's not as good as the Moderna and Pfizer. But I think there's also uh, um, talk about again the second Johnson shot. So that's something that on the work. So I think whatever shot that come up and you have an opportunity to get it, I would just get it and just not choose which one. They're all the same. I always tell people, if you buy a Toyota, Honda, it's a car. So it's the same thing. So just don't choose, just get them.
It's a car, basically.
As a car is a car.
A vaccine's
You
a
get where
vaccine.
you are. So, you don't have to choose. They both have some reaction, some a little bit of chill, fever, headache, and body ache. But,
Right.
It's a small, side effect or reaction you have to have your immunity for this thing
Right.
for up to a year or more. So I think it's well worth the reaction.
Doc, yeah, and because when we had Dr. Cabrera on, and I think even you had said that people who get a bad reaction, it's like one in whatever 100,000. But man, doc, everyone I know that I talk to, it seems like they're getting that reaction. I just talked to someone yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, when I got my second shot, oh, it was like 2 days of over here at King's. One of the
Yeah.
waitresses there, she's 55, and she was saying that she got the first shot, then when she got the second shot, she was like, "Oh, 2 days, Chris, I was out. I could not. I kept tossing and turning. I was sick." So I know that statistically, right? It seems like what is and I forget the number you guys had said like 1% of people who get the shot will experience some kind of adverse reaction. So why does it seem like it's more than that? Is it just because we're a smaller community? And I mean, I don't get it.
I don't, like I said, I expect people to have some reaction. And typically, Chris, a regular shot for anything else, if you have 50% efficacy, it's already good already.
Yeah.
But this one is 95%. So it's really kick your immune system in producing antibodies. So when you get that huge amount of response, yeah, you're going to have some reaction. But it's just that's how the body works. If you got a shot and your immune system kick in, you got to have some reaction somewhere. It's working. So I tell people just bear with it. It's working for you. And if you talk to those people again after about 2-3 days, they back to normal.
Yeah.
They have nothing else after that 2-3 days. So again, it's not nothing that permanent that you're looking for. So they if I see a lot of my patients and they say the same thing. I say, how do you feel now? Oh, back to normal already. So like I say, it's just reassure that hey, your immune system's working for you.
Right. So what's on the agenda for the PAG meeting this week, Doc? Are you guys going to be talking about more face to face, expanding with the public schools or any of the schools? Is that kind of is that on your agenda?
Yeah, the gentleman, there's a lot of things we can have now. We got to look forward to open our economy, right? I mean, we got the immunization in. We're about close to 40,000 people on the island at least get the first shot. The question is, when can we safely open our island up for tourism and travel back and forth for return residents that don't need quarantine anymore? Those are stuff that you have to plan ahead of time, because I think that as the immunization rate go up and the positive rate in the state go down, we have to look a different way to modify our quarantine rules to make it easier for our residents to return, and also try to open up the economy for the possible tourists to come in, right? So those are stuff that we have to start talking about and plan ahead of time.
Doc, what about our designation with the CDC? Are we still like a designated hotspot?
And that's something that we have probably request Dr. Ken Hancock to ask CDC to modify that. To us, right now, besides our brother up north in Saipan, we're pretty safe. You can see the CAR score really, really low. So, and we are totally different in August. So we have to ask them to modify that.
Right.
And again, to plan forward is really the Department of Public Health play a big part of it, because they need to kind of step up and have a very good contact tracing and isolation process in place, because as we can see in the past, all we need is one case, and it can spread out really quick. So we have to make all the process very much robust, more than before, in order for us to keep our economy and up and our rate low. So it's very important. It's a lot of things we have to talk about, and I think there's a lot of community to try to put our head together and go forward. Hopefully 2021 is much better than last year.
We had a comment here from Paloma. Will Guam be implementing a vaccination passport?
That's we are thinking of doing that. I think everyone is thinking of doing that. It's that little card that they give to you. That little white card is people lost it easily, and it's very easy replaceable and very easy to fake it. So yes, the digital passport is something that for immunization is something that we need to start looking for. You need to have the ability at the airport to kind of sign up on the website and look to see if you have been fully immunized. And it worked only for the local resident. It's very hard to implement that nationwide because there's a lot of efforts. I'm not sure we have any ability to do that or not. But our return resident, yeah, I mean, we have to start to work on some type of digital platform that if you come into the airport and you can the officer can sign up on the website and look at your name and know you have complete your series or not. It's very important. If you complete already and you have a certain percentage number of people in Guam that have been immunized, you can quarantine from home. So that's what our goal is, to get up to 50-60% herd immunity and get people to go home rather than being a Q factor. Digital passport something that we really have to look for now and plan ahead of time.
With these hiccups in our vaccination supply, Doc, do you believe that we're still going to meet the governor's Liberation Day goal of herd immunity?
That's a high possibility we can, Chris. That's a achievable goal. Again, it's really depend on the number of vaccine given by the federal to Guam. If they give us 60 to 70,000 doses per month, we can complete that really quick. We have no problem getting the shot into a person, into anyone, if we have the vaccine available. So that goal that the governor set, is very achievable.
Right on. Very, like what, 50%, 60%?
Yeah, I think our goal for herd immunity is 70% of our island to be vaccinated. But I think about 50-60% we can change our quarantine regulation and safely get people to do home quarantine.
Okay. Doc, I appreciate your time this morning.
You're welcome, guys. But yes, there's the daylight at the end of the tunnel somewhere there. So we're almost there. So I ask everyone to, again, be cautious, be safe, and still practice 3W, okay?
Right on. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome.
There
Have
you
a
go.
good day, guys.
You
Be
too,
safe.
my friend.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Hoa Nguyen, he's the Physician Advisory Group chair. And he's been coming on here on the link ever since the start of the pandemic. So definitely appreciate that. As there were these Physician Advisory Group meetings. They weren't open to the public. They still aren't. And it is what it is, right? Because they suspended the open government law. They had made a lot of reasons. I almost said excuses. They made a lot of reasons why they didn't believe that the public should be able to watch these meetings. I think one of them was that, they felt like doctors wouldn't be able to speak openly about the decisions that they make. But, the open government law has been unsuspended here with this latest executive order from the governor. So I'm not sure how that affects the Physicians Advisory Group, because I think they're kind of like quasi-governmental and like maybe not beholden to having to adhere to those